Hello and welcome back to another video of EUC in Austin. This is Rachel, and today I'm sharing with you another group ride with the Central Texas EUC Electrical Unicycle Group, and this was in May of 2023. And here we are in the parking lot at Rabb House in Round Rock. So basically, this is the Wednesday evening group ride, and it happens every week on Wednesday evening. And we start out at Rabb House here. You can see we're here in the parking lot in Round Rock. And if you did not catch the other group ride with the Austin One Wheel Club, I do have a video of that that we went on I believe on a Sunday Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon group ride, also at Rabb House. You can check that out as well too. Okay, so here we go. We are starting out here at Rabb House in Round Rock, and we've got a lot of videos of Rabb House. As I had mentioned, with the Austin One Wheel Club, which we did on Sunday morning, I believe. And then of our own, we are on the East Brushy Creek Trail. Here we are here, and then with some friends. So this is kind of one of the trails that we go on a lot here in Round Rock, and starting at the Rabb House parking lot. So we've got a couple of those types of videos so that you can see from different perspectives as well too. Now this is again on a Wednesday evening here with the Central Texas EUC group, and it's kind of nice to go on these midweek rides with the group because it's just kind of a way to de-stress. I know people are busy, with work and families and all that, but it's actually a good time to go. There are a couple people on the trail, but it's not as busy, say, if you go on a Saturday, or maybe Friday afternoon. Those tend to be the busiest towards the end of the week and over the weekend. So I really did enjoy this ride, and we continue to go on these rides with the Central Texas Electric Unicycle Group, every week if we can. We haven't been lately because of the heat, and we just got back from California, and I've got some, footage of some of the rides that we went as a family on our trip to California. So also we haven't been riding because unfortunately my husband was injured. He got injured on one of the mountain bike trails in California. So he's kind of recovering from all that right now, just trying to get better. These things do happen, like I've said in the past on this channel, EUC in Austin, safety is the number one priority, but sometimes, things happen and it's beyond your control. So I'll talk more about that maybe in an upcoming video, maybe in our, footage on our California videos over the summer. But as you can tell, it's a nice afternoon here, actually early evening here, with this group ride with the Central Texas Electric Unicycle Club. If you're wondering where everyone is, we are actually going at our distance, a good, safe, distance for us, speed, because there was one ride, I think it was the Pflugerville ride, and that was a super fast ride. And if you didn't have a chance to check it out, it's the Pflugerville group ride with the Central Texas Electric Unicycle Club, and we were going way too fast for our daughter. So my husband and I had a talk to just kind of go at our own pace. nice. And what's kind of cool about going on the group rides, people will wait for you. They're not just going to go and then you get lost. And especially as a beginner, it can be intimidating. But, people do wait. There's the fast riders and then also the casual riders. We don't like to call them slow riders or just casual riders. And that's what we are, the casual riders. But as we come up here to, the end of this trail that you're watching, you'll see that we're catching up with the group. Some people like to go ahead so they can go do tricks while they're waiting, which is completely understandable. So, we're catching up here with the group. We're going on the normal trail. We're making a left here, but we know the trail just because we've been on it for so many times. If you're a complete beginner, and we're on Kenny Fort Boulevard. If you're a complete beginner and you feel like, it's intimidating to go on these group rides because, I'm not an expert, don't even worry about that, because we all had to start somewhere. Even when we first started going to these group rides, oh, look, we're all caught up. The leaders of the group, they feel like they're obligated to kind of, make sure that you're comfortable, ride with you. We've had some of the leaders just ride with us so that we get comfortable riding together, and also so that we get to know the route, because like anything, if you are new to something, you don't know the route, you may get lost. So don't even worry about, someone, or the group, going ahead and then you getting lost. That's not even an issue. So, if you're watching this, whatever city that you live in, I strongly encourage you to check out these groups, whether it be the Electric Unicycle Club, any kind of personal electric vehicle club. We're making a left turn here. If you ride e-bikes, there's a big e-bikes group here that we're going to check out, because you get to kind of get to know other people, other routes. I've got my music on, and that, when I play music, that means that, any pedestrians, if we're behind them, they know we're coming. So I am playing my music. I think at one point my husband is also playing his music on his electric unicycle. But like I said, I strongly encourage you to check out these groups, whatever city that you live, just to kind of get an idea, of what's out there, and to kind of get to know new routes and all that. Like I had said in a previous video, the whole point of this YouTube channel, this video channel, EUC in Austin, is so that you can see these routes, these group rides, or any trails that we go on, whether it's here in Austin or even when we go on vacation. A lot of times it is in California, because we have family in California. You can see it from beginning to end. So there's nothing chopped off. A lot of the videos that we see online, my husband, it was his entire idea to do this. You just see part of the trail, or you don't know where they're starting at and where do they end. This is from beginning to end, and on the trails that we go on. So I hope that you are enjoying our channel and our videos. If you do, please like this video and please subscribe to our channel, EUC in Austin. And if you have any questions at all about any type of electric vehicles, it doesn't have to be electric unicycles, let me know here in the comments. Oh, here we are with all the electric unicycles. So we caught up with some of them, and behind me they caught up with us. So there were actually some people behind us as well too. So we kind of stayed in the middle, riding this trail. We know this trail like the back of our hand. So the leaders, they know that we already know the route, so there's not an issue of us getting lost on this route. Again, this is the East Brushy Creek Trail in Round Rock, one of our favorite trails now. We've been on it so many times. We've got a lot of videos on our channel, EUC in Austin, of this trail. But this is basically the Wednesday night group ride with the Central Texas Electric Unicycle Group, EUC group, in May of 2023. So here we're making a left turn here. You saw an EUC rider go to the right. Sometimes they want to do tricks or just go on different terrain. Some people, they don't want to go on the concrete. They want to go on the grass. And those types of people, they enjoy like trail rides and stuff like that. And we do have a trail ride. If you missed it, check out our trail ride on the North Walnut Creek ride. Very cool. We did some, stayed on the trail, but then we also did some off-roading there as well too. So check that out on our channel, EUC in Austin. Okay, so we are kind of continuing on here on this ride. And there's the rider that was went to the side, and he's the one that he brings his own coffee to these rides, which is super cool. I had mentioned this in another recording. I am a coffee connoisseur of types. I've studied coffee. I know how to roast coffee. I roast coffee at home when I do have time. But if I don't have time, I just go down the street and get some roasted coffee at the coffee shop. And I know the different ways to make coffee as well, too. But anyways, this is not about coffee. That's just kind of a side note if you kind of want to get to know me and kind of the other things I like to do besides ride on the electric unicycle. But if you're joining me right now on this group ride, I believe I am riding my Sherman Max. It's a big wheel. Talked a lot about my Sherman Max on this group ride. My husband is riding his Extreme Bull Commander. I believe it's a big wheel as well too. And my daughter, she is riding her Bagode Mountain Climber version 2. I believe it's version 2 for this group rides. So one thing about group rides, which what I learned is that, we don't like to charge. Obviously sometimes with other vehicles, like for instance, the one wheels, they do have to charge because they're limited with range. So with the group rides, for the most part, we don't have to charge. But, if you're thinking about, my charging, and usually, we're not going like 20 or 30 miles, It's just kind of like a casual group ride. And, one of the things you want to do is check with the leaders of the group before the ride to see exactly how far is the ride, how long is the ride, when is it going to start, when is it going to stop, are you going to eat on the group ride? Here we are at the Joe B. Freeman Park. On this group ride on Wednesday evenings with the Central Texas EUC group, we go to downtown Round Rock, which you'll see in this video, to get ice cream at a candy shop. But on the Sunday rides, when we have them with the Austin One Wheel Club, we go to downtown Round Rock as well too, but we don't have ice cream. We have pizza, for lunch. So we're making a right turn here. So it's kind of a good idea to kind of know what exactly is planned for the group ride before you go if you've never been on it. And a lot of times, the leaders of these group rides, they're very open to answering any questions and being accommodating to new riders of the group because they're always looking to expand the group. They're very welcoming, so we've never had an issue on that. We're one of the few that are families and we have a kid. Here we're at the pavilion here at the Joe B. Freeman Park, and it'd be nice to see other kids attend these group rides. There have been a couple here and there, but I do realize, the majority of these group rides, it's adults. A lot of times it's, men. It'd be great to see other female riders, which they come from time to time, and also families as well, too. All right, we are a rest stop here at the Joe B. Freeman Park. in Round Rock. And here we go. We are kind of continuing on. So basically, when you do these rest stops, it's just a kind of a chance for people to recharge. I've got my GoPro Hero 8. We're heading to Old Settlers Park that I do record. And a lot of times I have to change out the battery because I've only got so much battery. That's one of the limitations with the GoPros, the battery life. So I got to change out my battery, get some water. My husband and daughter, maybe they have to have, some water, and then just give a chance for everyone to kind of have some conversations before we go on to the next ride. And if you're watching this and you're not sure, that you don't know anyone, in the beginning it's a little bit intimidating. You don't know everyone there, but if you keep going, like we started going, like I think in the beginning of this year, more aggressively of 2023, if you keep going, every week and they keep seeing you over and over again, you're kind of going to get to know everyone who goes, especially the regulars. There's some people, they go every week. There's some people who go every now and then. Some people just go once a month. It's just kind of, depending on their schedule. But you'll kind of get to know each other and all the other riders and all the different personalities, and then have, more in-depth conversations about the wheels, about, some of the trails that other people go on, and that's what what we got as a family going to these group rides, the different perspectives of people who have more experience than us, maybe the suggestions on how to ride better, and also, more importantly, what other trails do they go on? Because the enthusiasts, sometimes they'll go on these group rides and then they'll go on their own after the group ride, especially on the weekends, somewhere else. They may start here with East Brushy Creek, but afterwards, especially, if it's a Sunday afternoon, they may go to, Walnut Creek and continue riding, and I do see that with some of the enthusiasts who just enjoy the sport of riding the electric unicycles. So that's just one of the things that, we've gotten out of the group. People kind of know us already being in the group, since we're kind of regulars. We just haven't been lately because, we were on vacation in California, and my husband is still recovering from, where is everyone? You'll see them, don't worry. My husband is still recovering from his injury in California, but he's doing good. He's been going to physical therapy, just trying to get better. So, at this point, he can ride an e-bike, but at slower speeds. He cannot go too fast. So basically, he was injured. I believe it was his left wrist and then his left leg as well too. So he's got to be very careful putting pressure on his leg, and balancing. That's one of the things he's got to relearn, because it's been so long. This happened, I believe, in June of this year in the summertime. He's got to learn to rebalance. So, we're just, something that, it comes with the territory. Not everything's going to be peachy all the time, but you get through these things, and he's doing better, and, recovering from that. So if you look here, it's getting darker here and cloudy. So at this part of the trail, we are heading back towards Rabb House. So we go away from Rabb House, the parking lot where we started, and then we go towards Rabb House. We actually passed the parking lot. I remember one time my husband's like, I need the flashlight. He forgot the flashlight for, I believe it was his helmet or to wear, because it does get very dark. So once you pass going back the Rabb House parking lot, then we go on to downtown Round Rock. So at this point, we are basically going back, I believe and we will be going to, I think first we have to go to Old Settlers Park, and then we will go to downtown Round Rock. But you'll see everything. You'll see the group ride. We're still here on the East Brushy Creek Trail as we progress along this video. So and if you're just catching us, again, this is a Wednesday group ride in the early evening here with the Central Texas EUC riders. One of the groups that we do want to check out is the e-bike group here in Austin. So if anyone has gone on any of the group rides with the e-bike group, I heard it's huge. It's a bigger group. Oh, watch out for that dog. Watch out for the dog. One thing I did learn about dogs is when you see dogs, any kind of personal electric vehicle, just go slow, because if you go too fast, they're going to want to chase you. So it's better to kind of slow down. It's just programmed into, I guess it's just programmed in them to want to chase things that want to go fast. So that's why when you see, a dog chase a car, for example, they're going fast, faster than walking speeds, versus a bike and it's going at walking speeds. All right, we're making a right turn here, and I believe we are going to go to Old Settlers Park before we go get ice cream. We are here on Kenny Fort Boulevard. But as I was talking about the e-bike group here, I've seen the posts of the events in downtown. I believe those types of events have been typically on Saturdays during the day. We're going downhill here, so just be careful during the day, and we just haven't been able to make those events. So if anyone here, if you're watching this video, if you have any comments, I'd love to hear about the Austin e-bike group here and any of the rides that you've done, and also some of the routes. I haven't checked out what routes they typically go on when they do have group rides, but a lot of here's the convention center here on the right, on the right, and you'll see the Kalahari Resort. By the way, that was a great water park. Took my daughter there when we got back at the end of the summer. Very good time at the Kalahari Water Park. If you haven't been, it's an indoor water park here in Round Rock, and you'll see it on the right-hand side. But as I was saying, I'd love to hear more about this Austin e-bike club. And, here's the Kalahari Resorts and some of the events any of y'all have been to. We're probably going to look into their events and some of the routes for group rides, because we're always looking for something new. And that's one of the things that, had we not been going to these group rides, we may not have even known about the e-bike club here in town, because it was the members of the, this group, the Central Texas EUC group, who have gone on those group rides, who've encouraged us to check them out too. So that's just one of the great things about going on these group rides. Again, different perspectives, different suggestions, kind of we're on Kalahari Boulevard. Open up your mind to see, things outside of what you normally do. I was having this conversation with my husband about, had we not been on these group rides, we could have just been going on the same trails over and over again, or just we're crossing the street, or we could have, just continued to ride in our neighborhood. But, after a while, that kind of gets boring, and that's just one of the things that we enjoy about the group rides. He's the one that actually had to convince me to go on these group rides. I've been kind of busy. I've got different things going on in my life, and I'm always on a schedule, and that's just one of the things, like, at the end of the day, do I really want to do this? But I'm really glad that he actually encouraged me to go on these group rides and check them out, because he was trying to get, me and my daughter, all of us as a family, to ride on these group rides. He really wanted to do it, but he wanted us to go with him as well too. So I'm really glad that I checked it out, even though at the end of the day I'm like, I don't know, I'm tired, I've been working. We're in Harrell Parkway. Sometimes, it's just going there, and then once I'm there, I'm like, you know what, I'm kind of glad that I went. And like I said in the beginning of this video, it's just a way to distress, and just also be outdoors, because working, we're in Harrell Parkway and Kalahari Boulevard, we tend to be inside a lot for the most part, unless you have a job that's outside. Okay, this is a very, very busy road. And if you checked out our video with the One Wheel Club, we did cross this. This is Highway 79. We're doing a group crossing here, but you got to be very careful. I wouldn't recommend doing this on your own, or if you even have your family to do this. This is only something I recommend you doing in a group ride here, because it's very, very busy. And here everyone's crossing except me and then the leader of the group. Unfortunately, I didn't make it. If you cannot make these lights, do not attempt to cross a red light. I'm telling you, it's better to be safe than sorry, because you do not want to end up in the hospital. We were just in that situation with my husband in the hospital due to his injury on the mountain bike trails in California. And here I am just having a conversation with one of the leaders of the group. And this is a very long light, so, you just kind of hang out. We're at Highway 79 and Harrell Parkway. The Old Settlers Park is right in front of me. But, just kind of hang out, having conversation until the light crosses green. And one thing, before you cross the street, you want to definitely look to the left, look to the right, look to the left again, and then cross, okay? Because you never know what car is going to just go and not look at you, not see you, or maybe, unfortunately, maybe ignore you, because, we are kind of still pedestrians. We are on vehicles, personal electric vehicles, but we are not a car, kind of like a motorcycle, or, even a bike. We're not going that fast, we can, I've said in previous videos that my Sherman Max can go up to 45 miles an hour if I wanted to, but I don't ride that fast. I'm not a fast rider. I'm more of a casual rider, so as you can see, I've been having this talk with you, and there's all these fast cars, and we are still waiting for the light to change, but it should change, fairly quick here, at this part of the video. But, we're still talking, still having conversation. This is definitely a major street here, Highway 79, to get to Old Settlers Park and Harrell Parkway in Round Rock. Here we go. I am crossing, just being careful. You never know with these cars. And here we are at Old Settlers Park. There's a sign on the right-hand side. And I'm going to take you into the route that we go. We made it in Old Settlers Park. We don't continue on the street because it's so busy. We're going to make a right turn here into the parking lot. This is the parking lot with Del Diamond and I believe the Salt Lick. You'll see the Salt Lick restaurant, barbecue restaurant, is on the right hand side here. And as you can see, there are the rest of the group, the rest of the EUC riders. My husband and my daughter is there as well too. So this is kind of the route that we go on. And if you checked out the one wheel group ride that I had at Rabb House, it is part of that Rabb House, so you can check that out as well too, of that group ride. All right, so here we are in the parking lot at Del Diamond. So we kind of, part of the group ride is to go through this parking lot here. It looks like there's an event here, as you can see all these cars. And don't worry about it. You're part of the group. I know I believe they collect, parking at some of these events, but they just let us through. We're just vehicles, and we, personal electric vehicles, and we're going to Old Settlers Park. It's not like we're going to this event here with our electric unicycles. So basically, we are cutting through the parking lot here, and there is a trail here to get into Old Settlers Park, making a right turn, as you can see. And here is the trailhead for Old Settlers Park here to enter the park. So we are going on this trail here. It's a little bit bumpy in the beginning here. Now, as you can see, some people are going on the grass, and then some people are just continuing on this path. I am going for it. I am being adventurous here, going on the grass, but not going too fast. And here I go. Whoa. Sometimes you got to watch out for those tree branches. Sometimes they can actually get in the way. So I got to duck, especially since I have a GoPro Hero 8 on my helmet, so it's a little bit higher than usual. Okay, here's somebody. I think there was something stuck in her wheel. That's one of the, I think she's one of the teenagers, kids of one of the families there. But I guess she was gonna ask her dad, how to get it out. So thank you so much again for watching this. We are in Old Settlers Park here, as you can tell, and at the end we're gonna be waiting for that person who had something stuck in her wheel. You'll see, like I said, everyone kind of waits for everybody else here during these group rides. So you have nothing to worry about if you are new, to doing this. Nothing's perfect. I actually had an accident on a group ride. I think it was too slippery on the grass, and I was carving, and then I just slipped off, and yeah, I fell. Not fun. Definitely not fun. And I believe it was here at Old Settlers Park. I think it was actually after it had rained. I know, not a good idea. Here they come. So that, accidents happen, but I was fine. I just dusted myself off. So here they come, and it seems like everyone's okay. My daughter was behind me, and probably also my husband is here as well too. But we're kind of waiting to make sure that there's my husband. We are all together here with the group before we continuing on here at Old Settlers Park. Okay, here we go. I guess everyone kind of caught up. So we are continuing on here at Old Settlers Park. And if you're watching this, and if you have any questions about this route in Old Settlers Park, or if maybe you've ridden this yourself, I'd love to hear it in the comments. Let me know what you think about this route. If you have any questions about this route, let me know as well too. I do like it. It's enjoyable. It's just that crossing from the East Brushy Creek Trail, I would not recommend doing that on your own, or even if you're in a small group. Here's the soccer fields here. It really is to cross that. You have to be in a large group, like a group ride. So if you want to be safe, I would actually just drive to, unless you live nearby and you can get here safely, drive to Old Settlers Park, bring your wheels, whatever personal electric vehicle that you have, whether it be, EUCs, electric unicycles, or scooters, or e-bikes, or if you have an electric skateboard, even a one wheel, just bring it to the park, park your car, and just ride if you just want to, be here at at Old Settlers Park. And there are different places that you can park in Old Settlers Park. You'll see we're riding to the pavilion. I believe it's the lake. I think it was the lakeside pavilion where there's water. That's a popular area if you just kind of you're new to Old Settlers Park, just kind of scope out the area. And there tends to be a lot of people in the area, so you just got to be careful. That's one of the things about the nicer areas of the park. There's just so many people, and if you're not skilled yet, you're still a beginner, you gotta watch out. You gotta go at safe walking speeds, which can be a challenge, which is a skill, and you'll learn it as you continue to ride, continue to practice on your personal electric vehicle. But it's just kind of hard to maneuver when it's a lot of those, a lot of people in one place. That's what I really like, it's getting dark here, about the electric unicycle. It's kind of an extension of you and of yourself, versus if you had an e-bike or a scooter, there's those handles and they take up the majority of the road. That's one of the things I like about the electric unicycle. I mean, it's not the easiest to ride. It's probably the hardest of the personal electric vehicles to ride, but once you actually get to ride it and you know how to ride it, it's like you, but you're not walking, you're just rolling through, versus you've got this e-bike or the scooter with handlebars that can kind of take the majority of the road. So we're slowing down here, but as you can see, there's a dog, and as I mentioned earlier, you don't want to go at fast speeds. I think there was a bump there. When you see the dogs, you just want to go at slower walking speeds so that they don't chase you. Because the last thing you want is a dog chasing you and you slip off the vehicle. You kind of do the opposite. You see a dog, you're like, oh, I'm going to whisk away. If you have no choice and you are going through that path, just go slow as long as the owner has control of their dog. If they don't have control of the dog, that's another issue. Go around the dog, get away from the dog, because you don't want an accident to happen. Like I said before, better safe than sorry. Okay, so at this point, you're going to see some EUC riders on the right. They're going to do a shortcut. They'd rather go on maybe some terrain, on the grass. We are actually going the long way. I will say there's an area here that I think we kind of avoided. Be careful when you go through mud. If you can avoid it, avoid going through the mud. Just go around it, especially if you have a street tire, which we have on our EUCs. I think me and my daughter, our tires are more street tire. My husband's is a little bit, I think it's a knobby tire, so he can go through those types of things, which is, it's built for, off terrain. But if you, for the most part, have a street tire, I would avoid the mud. It's too slippery, and then go around it. And I think that was one of the reasons why I fell off when I went through the grass, and it was wet too, because I have a street tire, which is more for the road versus on this terrain. So here, where there's mud right there, my husband's just avoiding it because he knows that me and my daughter, we just have street tires. If we go through it, we're going to slip. It's just the way the tires are. I believe since my husband has more of a knobby tire on his EUC, which is the Extreme Bull Commander. Here we are at the Lakeview Pavilion, that he can actually go through it. Okay, so this is the area, if you've never been to Old Settlers Park, that I recommend that you park. Again, it's the Lakeview Pavilion here. You see the lake there, and I think that board on the left, sometimes they have movies, I think. But basically, you can just go around and around on this trail. So we are going to do off-roading. So you can just continue on that trail, or you can go here on this path, which is off-roading, which is kind of cool. So I'm taking you on what we went, which is the off-roading part. Sometimes, there's, a lot of pedestrians over there, and you don't want to do that. We got to be very careful here, avoiding the mud. We're going to the side of the mud, and you will see that sometimes there's some electric unicycle riders. They go up and down this hill here on the right. You see some of them riding. That's kind of some of the people who actually like to do the tricks, and they enjoy it. Again, there's some more mud, so just be aware of that too. So here's some riders here just going up and down that hill, having casual conversation. Okay, so we're continuing on here. Again, this is the off-roading portion of the lake here in Old Settlers Park. It is super fun. I really enjoy this portion of the ride. I'm getting more comfortable with off-roading, with the trails, as long as it's not too bumpy. because again, we don't have, me and my daughter, we don't have tires for that type of terrain. Our tires are more for the street. So for the most part, we stick, probably 90% of the time, we stick to, got to be careful of those tree branches, to, the road. But we're doing some off-roading here, and I'm going down this hill. I mean, this is super cool. This is like a roller coaster, but this is kind of a thrill here. You can go to the left if you want, but I'm going all the way down to the hill. Before, I would actually go around and make that left and then, come back here. But we did it. We did it. And now we are back on the trail here at Old Settlers Park. I made it. And, at this point, I believe it's going to get dark soon. So we're going at faster speeds than we normally do, but we're going at a safe speed as well, too. So this is the area I believe we are going to break to, have some conversation, get a drink of water. Not too long, though. Because we are slowing down here, because it is getting dark and we still need to get to downtown Round Rock to have our ice cream. By the time you see that video, when we're in downtown Round Rock and we're having our ice cream and we go back, it's going to be super dark. So right now it's just kind of cloudy, and we are at Yonder's Point in Round Rock here. It's called Yonder's Point, and it's a metallic structure. We made it. So this is kind of where we kind of rest up before we continue on here at Yonder's Point at Old Settlers Park in Round Rock. Okay. Usually we don't, especially on the Wednesday evening group rides, we don't stay there very long. It's just, a couple minutes and, have conversation, drink of water. I'm going downhill right now, and gives me a chance to change out my battery. At this point, I've got 4 batteries that I have for my GoPro Hero 8. So yeah, this is super fun. So I'm usually using one, and then every time we stop, I believe so far in the video we've had 2 stops. Like if we stop, I'll go ahead and change out the battery. Okay, the sun is setting, because I just don't want, even if there's some battery life left, I just don't want it to end in the middle of riding. That's just one of the things. I've been trying to get the footage of the beginning and end, the entire group ride. That's the whole point of doing, these videos for y'all. So you can see everything from beginning to end. And then I go in, I do my editing, and then I come here and do my video commentary, which I'm doing right now. And by the way, if you are wondering, as of this recording, this was in, I believe, May of this year, 2023. So it's nice spring weather. Here's the lake here on the left. I'm recording this, and now it's September 2023. And I've got a lot of other videos to edit, but I'm trying to do more of the group rides. If you missed the last video, the last group ride I did with the One Wheel Club, check that out. That was a Wednesday evening as well, too, because Wednesday evenings, I believe, the One Wheel Club has group rides, and our group, the Central Texas EUC Riders group, here's a playground here on the right, decided to let's build community with the One Wheel Club and go on their group ride in downtown. Definitely check that out. It's really cool, the downtown Austin group ride with, here's a Lakeview Pavilion, with the Austin One Wheel Club. Definitely check that out and let me know what you think. That is everything from beginning to end. So I really hope you enjoy that group ride, that video footage that I took. And at this point of, the video, we are actually leaving Old Settlers Park. Our next destination, I believe we're going to be going to ice cream in downtown Round Rock. But before that, we've hit a couple other places, and you'll see the route here. So, okay, we're getting ready here. Just got to be careful because this is a very, very, busy street, making this right turn here in Old Settlers Park. This is the reason why we had to make that turn into the parking lot where Del Diamond was and the Salt Lick barbecue restaurant is because this is a very, very busy street. Okay. So, with busyness, there's a lot of cars. They're going at faster speeds, but we're able to ride this, leave the park in a group setting here on our channel, EUC in Austin. And again, please, if you do like this video, please like the video, please subscribe. If you know anyone else who may be interested in our channel, EUC in Austin, who may enjoy our videos, who have an interest in electric unicycles, it's very dark here, or personal electric vehicles, please let them know about our channel, EUC in Austin. All right, so we are leaving Old Settlers Park. You can see my husband and my daughter. They're doing that carving. I've gone through, what carving is and all that in our earlier videos, but basically it's just kind of, going side to side instead of going in a straight line. When you're riding these electric unicycles, you can do a search about carving and the techniques online if it's something that you're interested in learning on your personal electric vehicle. And if you notice, I've been saying a lot personal electric vehicle is because instead of electric unicycle, because there are people that come to this channel and they ride other items. They're new to electric unicycle, but they may be, they may ride a skateboard, an electric skateboard, or an electric scooter, or an electric e-bike, So that's why I've been saying personal electric vehicle. I don't want to assume everyone coming to our channel and watching our videos are electric unicycle riders. It'd be great, but I understand there are people who are new to this who just want to see this. There's some batting cages there to the right. Old Settlers Park is a great park. Sports. I play tennis there. There's so much going on here at Old Settlers Park here in Round Rock. I mean, it's free to park most times. So definitely check it out. If you're looking for another route, another location to ride your personal electric vehicle, I highly recommend Old Settlers Park. Again, it's really hard to do that crossing, so if you can't do that, you're not in a group setting, definitely go to the park and park there. Okay. All right, so here we are making the left turn, and they were waiting for us, and we are just gonna continue on to our final destination, which is downtown Round Rock. But before we get there are a couple spots that we kind of hit before we get there. We are on East Old Settlers Boulevard, and you'll see we go through a residential neighborhood. We stop at a school just to hang out for a while, and then it gets super dark, and we're on our way to go get ice cream finally in downtown Round Rock. So this is kind of the route that we go. Again, this is every week for the most part, I think. Wednesday evening group ride at Rabb House with the Central Texas Electric Unicycle Club here in Round Rock. So I hope you do enjoy this video. As you can tell, there's a lot of clouds in the sky. One thing I did want to say about these group rides, always check the weather before going there. Now, if you kind of RSVP and you say, oh, okay, I'm going to, go to this, usually if there's going to be some weather that's unpredictable, like rain or whatnot, they will let anyone who actually RSVP'd to the ride know if they're going to still go on the ride. Okay, it's getting to be evening here. It's getting darker. So that's one thing that I would just be aware of. The weather when you go on these group rides, definitely check it maybe a couple hours, throughout the day maybe, but right before you leave the house, I would recheck the weather just to make sure that it's not pouring rain. You don't want to be out there. Here we are in Kenny Fort Boulevard. You don't want to be out there when it's pouring rain, especially in an electric vehicle, stuck in the rain. Like this. And it's funny because me and my husband, we actually did a ride ourselves in the beginning of riding, and we would go to this food truck here in the Austin area, regularly. And, it just started pouring and pouring and pouring. I think we were like, almost to the food truck when it started pouring. And then, he was like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, let's just take the food back. And I rode through the rain. That was when I was riding the InMotion V11. And I believe at that point he was riding the Sherman Max. So if anyone is curious about those two vehicles, the Sherman Max or the InMotion V11, they can ride through the rain because it was pouring like crazy. And, I had a helmet on, I had my goggles, but I was constantly wiping off the goggles, the water off of my goggles, and it was crazy. But I know how it is to go through, pouring rain on a personal electric vehicle. It was not fun. Personally, I do not like extreme weather. I mean, who does? And I don't even like driving in rain. I'd rather stay home, wait for it to clear versus drive through the rain. I really do not like extreme weather. And for the most part, I think Texas in general, or Austin in general, we don't have that extreme weather, and I'm really thankful for that. Most of the time it's clear, the sun is out, and that's one of the things that I do enjoy about the Austin area. It is kind of cloudy here. And also Texas in general, we don't have these crazy hurricanes like all the time. We don't live in Florida, or we don't have fires like they do in California on a regular basis. That's just one of the things I do enjoy about living in Texas, being in the Austin area, is that we don't have that type of extreme weather. We did used to live on the East Coast in Washington, D.C. Way back, a while back, and I just did not like that extreme weather. Some people like it with the 4 seasons, with the snow and the rain and, the changing of the seasons, which is nice, and I can appreciate that. But for the most part, living there, I just did not like all of that weather changing so much all the time. And tell me about, starting up your car when it's snowing, and then warming it up and then going back inside until it's warmed up. That was a normal thing back there. I'm like, this is just a way of living here, and I did not like it. I do not personally. That's why we're here in Texas. I do not like the cold. So I am not, I grew up in California. So I prefer the sun. I prefer the warmth. Yes, we've got humidity and heat and all that. But I really don't. I don't mind that as much as I mind the cold. Anyways, sorry about that. I was going on a tangent. So this is the rest of our route here. And like I said, we hit a couple spots before we get to our final destination, which is eating ice cream at a candy shop in downtown Round Rock. So here's a gas station. This is the Quick Trip gas station. We kind of ride through this gas station, and this is regularly, like every week when we go on this group ride with the Rabb House, at the Rabb House with the Central Texas EUC group. This is kind of what we do. We go through this Quick Trip here. And, you get to know the routes, if you keep coming back over and over and over again, that's the process of learning, and learning it is just doing it over and over and over again. So we already know the route. My husband knows the route. My daughter knows the route. I know the route. And, it's just something you get familiar with. But anyways, we are continuing on here. We are in Round Rock. We're on North A.W. Grimes Boulevard here. And you'll see we're going to go into this residential neighborhood that I talked about. And then we kind of hang out for a while at this little elementary school. But we don't hang out there too long because it's getting dark and we need to go to downtown Round Rock. So here we are on Chandler Creek. We're going to make a left here. This is the Chandler Creek, I believe, neighborhood, the subdivision. This is the street, Chandler Creek, here in Round Rock. And this is kind of, I'm taking you. You've got a front seat here on our group ride on Chandler Creek Boulevard as we continue in this residential neighborhood here on our group ride with the Central Texas Electric Unicycle group. And again, as I have mentioned in the past, when you do go on these group rides, you don't have to ride, the personal electric vehicle that everyone else is riding. Okay, here we're doing some street riding. It's just faster in the street. Now we're doing this in a group, and also it's residential. So versus staying on the sidewalk, for the most part, we would not be riding on the street on a busy street like that Highway 79. Definitely not. But since this is residential and we are in a group setting, for the most part, it is safe as long as you're aware of your surroundings and all that. So the sidewalks tend to be, they're not even all the time. And that's one of the things that, with the sidewalks, because there's trees and then there's roots, and it can go up and down. But on the street, for the most part, it is flat because, cars have to drive on it. So sometimes we do ride on the street in these group rides. Okay, we're going to make a right-hand turn. Here's that elementary school I told you about. And we're going to ride through this parking lot here. And the name of the elementary school is Double File Trail Elementary, if you are interested in knowing where we're at on this portion of the group ride here. And this is kind of the parking lot that we kind of stop. People do tricks, I believe. Okay, yeah. We're going around here to this portion, and there's a big bump. I believe there's a bump at some portion of this group ride. You just got to be careful because it is kind of a huge a huge bump here. So here it is. Woo! And I believe we went on that bump, and it was kind of dark on one of the group rides, and I just didn't see it, and it was super crazy. But I was fine. I didn't fall off or anything. Okay, so here we are in the parking lot here at this elementary school, and it is time to do tricks here, time to have conversation, get a drink of water. I don't think I change out my battery here unless my GoPro Hero 8 is beeping or it just went out. I think I changed my battery in the first two stops we had, definitely at Old Settlers Park and then Joe B. Freeman Park. But here you'll see at this point, sometimes I just kind of want to keep riding. Towards the end of the ride, I just kind of want to keep riding. So I'm kind of going in circles here with my husband and my daughter. We're just kind of waiting for everyone to regroup, get a drink of water, finish their conversations. And then after this portion of the ride, it's going to get faster because we are competing with, it's getting dark. And we need to get to downtown Round Rock to the candy store to have our ice cream. And then we still need time to eat our ice cream. And then after that, once we're done, and at this point in that video, once we're done with our ice cream, you'll see it. It is super dark. So we got to get back. It is a school night. This is Wednesday evening in May. My daughter still has school. So there's that as well, too. So, that wasn't too long. See, as you can tell, I didn't even have to cut the video or stop the video. We were just waiting for a couple minutes. Now we're going back. Our next destination is downtown Round Rock, where we go to the candy store to have some ice cream. We are on Chandler Creek Boulevard here, I believe in the Chandler Creek subdivision in Round Rock, and we're riding on the street because for the most part, again, it is relatively flat. Unfortunately, with the sidewalks, it's not going to be flat most of the time. So it's okay in a group setting, again, as long as you are aware of, your surroundings, okay? And as for street riding, I wouldn't recommend it to a beginner, especially if you're just starting out. You can do it like in your own neighborhood, the kids do it all the time. But for the most part, I would not recommend riding on the street outside of your neighborhood as a beginner. You just got to get comfortable with things. I think it's okay in a group ride setting. My husband, me, and my daughter, we have done actually street riding ourselves, and it was just us. But now that I think about it, it was kind of dangerous at the time, but we were okay. We were just had to be aware of our surroundings, and that's how you learn as well too. So, but nowadays, especially with my husband and his injury, we've gotten to be more careful about how we ride and the types of places we ride and the environments we ride in as well too. So just something to think about. If you have any questions about that, definitely let me know. But we are continuing on here, and we're getting towards the end of our group ride here with the Central Texas Electric Unicycle. We're making a right-hand turn here, and again, like I said, we are going to downtown Round Rock to the candy store to have some ice cream. All right, we are now North Kenny Fort Boulevard here, I believe, in Round Rock, and we're just kind of continuing on. As you can see, it is very, very cloudy, and it's going to get dark here pretty soon. So, and you'll see, I believe by the time we get to downtown Round Rock, it is already dark. So just compare this, like take a screenshot, take a headshot in your a screenshot in your mind of how this looks like, and then compare it to once we actually get to downtown Round Rock, what it looks like. Okay, here's Joe DiMaggio Boulevard here, and we are just continuing on. We just passed Joe DiMaggio Boulevard. I believe we are on Kenny Fort Boulevard. This may look familiar to you because we've gone this route before in some of our videos as well too. So we are on Kenny Fort Boulevard here, heading to downtown Round Rock. And it's kind of cool so that you can see the route from where we were at to downtown Round Rock. And, on an electric unicycle, that's just one of the things that, I have appreciation for. I mean, we haven't had to charge this, like I said, like some vehicles, like, the one wheel, you do have to charge because they're limited to range. And there's pros and cons to every single vehicle out there, but that's just one of the things that I personally appreciate about the electric unicycle. Mine, I think I had mentioned that mine can go, I think it's 150 miles without a charge on my Sherman Max, depending how fast I'm going, but I'm not going to go 45 miles an hour. I'm not going to go 150 miles by myself. I'm never going to get to that because I just, that's a lot of mileage, in one setting. I can if I wanted to, but I'm not, and then also I my first wheel was the InMotion V8, which is I think it was a V8S, which is a great starter wheel. That thing can go 40 miles without a charge. So am I even going to go 40 miles? I don't think we've even gone 40 miles in one group ride, one group setting. So, at the most, maybe this group ride was, I don't know exactly what the mileage is on this. Probably maybe 15 to 20 miles round trip, give or take. But, it's enough so that we don't even need a charge here as well too. Now there are some pedestrians here, so we are kind of slowing down. Now as you can see, it is getting darker. Here we're just kind of going slow because there's a dog. Actually 2 dogs. So like I said, when you see dogs, you want to do the opposite. A lot of times you want to say, oh, I'm going to just like wheel away really fast past the dog. No, you want to slow down, especially if you're very close to the dog, and the dog will just watch you for the most part if the owner has control of the dog here. Okay, so here is the path that we are taking to get to downtown Round Rock. We are making a right-hand turn here, and then a very, very, very tight left turn here. Now in this part of the video, you'll see, oh my goodness, I got a duck. There's a lot of trees, shrubs, and all that. I believe at this part of the video, there's even a rail going downhill. It's a very narrow path. So again, like anything, just be aware of your surroundings. There's a rail here, right here. It's very narrow. If you don't feel comfortable and you're in, this type of setting where it's very narrow or there's a rail and you're still a beginner, just get off the wheel. And do not hold on to the rails. Make a right-hand turn because you want to be, safe than sorry. Okay. And that's kind of the theme here of our channel, EUC in Austin, safety first. Okay. People are waiting for us and we're continuing on. As you can see, my husband and my daughter, they both put their headlights on because it is getting dark and you want to see the road and you want people to see you as well too when you're coming here. And at this point, we're going to go at faster speeds. It's going to get a little bit grainy, a little bit jittery because, the GoPro, it has its limitations, especially, at night. It doesn't take the best video at night. But again, I want you to see the entire video from start to finish. So I want to include this footage. And, even at night, you can't really see much anyways. In terms of, your surroundings. So it just kind of gives me an opportunity to talk more. And sorry, it is very shaky as, you watch the video. So I hope you appreciate that. I hope you like our videos of these group rides, of these trails that I take you. You've got a front row seat here of what we ride from beginning to end. That's the whole point of our channel, EUC in Austin, so that you see everything. You're not just seeing a part of a trail or part of a group ride. You're actually seeing the entire thing from beginning to end. And again, I've got to give, my husband credit because it was his idea, because he was kind of frustrated looking online. He wanted to see, okay, what are these group rides about and where do they ride? And how long is the ride and how long does it take and where's the start and where's the finish? And a lot of the videos that he saw online with the group rides doesn't have to be here in Austin. They were just part of the trail, or part of the group ride, but it wasn't the entire thing in its entirety. And how would you know that unless you actually went on the group ride? So I'm giving you a front row seat here of our group rides and the rides that we go on as a family on our channel here, EUC in Austin. So I hope you really enjoy our videos and you like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for those new subscribers and also people who've been with us for a while who have recently subscribed to our channel, EUC in Austin. I really appreciate it. We are passing the parking lot here on the right at Rabb House. So we've made it to Rabb House and we are on our way to downtown Round Rock to get to this candy store to have some ice cream. So at this point in the video, it's going to get shaky, it's going to get darker, so please bear with me. But we are trying to be safe, but also get there quick and in a good timely manner before it gets super dark. As you can tell here, we're just kind of waiting for all the riders to catch up, and then we will continue on. I love this part of the video because it kind of shows you, okay, what is the route? You can actually go to downtown Round Rock from Rabb House, park at the parking lot, which is really cool, instead of going to downtown Round Rock, right? And then finding parking in downtown. It is ice cream time because a lot of times, the whole parking situation, even here in Round Rock, there could be a lot of people, and as a family, we just don't want to deal with that type of thing. We've got our daughter and then the walking and then finding the parking and spending like 30 minutes to find parking. That's not fun. So it's really cool that we can park at places like the Rabb House here in Round Rock, and then take our electric unicycle down to downtown Round Rock. We are leaving the Rabb House now on our way to downtown Round Rock. So you are seeing this trail from our perspective with the group ride, leaving Rabb House there, the Rabb Park. It is tunnel time. We're going down this tunnel. If you've seen our past East Brushy Creek videos, you've probably seen this a million times. So hopefully you get this from a perspective during the week and in the evening here as it gets dark. Okay, so we're continuing on. So this is actually the route to get to downtown Round Rock. So I hope you enjoy this part of the video. Here we go. I believe this is A.W. Grimes Boulevard that we're on. And then we are heading towards the Lake Creek, I believe, back to the Lake Creek Park, back to Dog Depot, past all that, and then we are going into a residential neighborhood to get to downtown Round Rock. So you will see that in its entirety through this video. I just wanted to let you know exactly where we're going so that you kind of have, an idea of the places that we'll pass on our way to downtown Round Rock. So we are here on Creek Ridge Boulevard and A.W. Grimes Boulevard, I believe. And we are going to cross the street here. My husband is mounting his electric unicycle. There goes my daughter doing it fast. And here I am doing this. And the reason why I don't cut any of this, because I want you to see how we mount, how we cross the street in its entirety. I don't want to cut any of that stuff out. I want you to see everything that we do. Okay, we are back on A.W. Grimes Boulevard. We're making a right here, and this is the entrance to get to Lake Creek Park here in Round Rock. We're going to continue on. You will see the Dog Depot if you've seen our videos, or if you're familiar with the area, you will see us pass Dog Depot and then get to Lake Creek Park. And again, this is a group EUC ride, electric unicycle ride. There are electric unicycles here, but they welcome all personal electric vehicles. You don't have to ride an electric unicycle to attend, this group ride. They welcome all vehicles, and the same thing with the Austin One Wheel Club. They welcome all vehicles. So as electric unicycle riders, we're able to go to those group rides as well too. All right, it's kind of wet here, so got to be, aware. There's a lot of sprinklers here, and excuse me. I'm going to take a drink of water here while you watch this part of the video. I know I do a lot of talking on these commentaries, but let me just take a sip of water here, and you can kind of see us riding on this path. Okay, I'm back. Unedited. You got a front row seat here. All right, Central Texas EUC riders, we're kind of continuing on as we go through this path. I've been doing a lot of talking today, and I try to drink water before I record these commentaries. It's just I needed some water. Okay, so we're riding fast here. Woo, yes. And it's getting shaky. I got to duck whenever I see a tree branch or anything. That's the thing about riding these electric unicycles. You really have to be aware of your surroundings. Think of it like you're a motorcycle. I mean, obviously we're not on the road here, but you've got to be really aware of your surroundings, especially these trees. Like on the road, for the most part, you don't have to worry about like trees being so low. But when you are on these, these paths, sometimes the trees are not going to be trimmed, perfectly. They can't get to everything, Or if you saw, one of our other videos, after the ice storm, there's like tree branches in the way. I believe that was at the North Austin Walnut Creek Trail ride that it was just me, my husband, and my daughter that we did. So you just got to be, again, aware of your surroundings, aware of, things obstacles that may be in your way. Okay, so we're continuing on, and again, here is Dog Depot here. in Round Rock. And if anyone is curious, we have not taken our dog there yet. I know I keep saying in these videos, you know, it's one of those things we want to take our dog there to Dog Depot. We just haven't, and I've heard it's a really cool place to take your dog at Dog Depot here in Round Rock. Ducking again for the trees. Here's Lake Creek Park. We are going through Lake Creek Park. We're going at higher speed, so and it's getting dark. So you'll notice that the camera's getting kind of shaky at this point. So we're just kind of continuing on here through Lake Creek Park. I believe there's going to be a pool here. I believe it's Lake Creek Pool on the right-hand side. And yes, here is a parking lot here. When me and my husband and my daughter, we do the group rides a lot. I mean, we ride by ourselves. We started parking there in the beginning. Now, for the most part, we go to Rabb House. All right, so to park. We are on Park Lane here, and I love just putting the titles here of the street names so that y'all are aware of where we're riding, just in case you want to do these routes yourself here. Okay, so now we're gonna make a right-hand turn. We're very close to downtown Round Rock. I know, it's funny, it's just so weird. You look at the map, you're like, oh, that's far. It's super close. We're on Deerfoot Drive, and downtown Round Rock is not that far from Lake Creek Park or Dog Depot or even Rabb House. You know, it's just a ride away. So it's really cool that we can ride here with the Central Texas EUC group, Electric Unicycle group, on our electric unicycles. And thank you so much for continuing to watch. And you know, I'm going to say this again. If you do like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel, EUC in Austin. I really appreciate it. I know I've said this a couple times in the video, but I just kind of want to, you know, put it out there, show you my gratitude for continuing to watch and continuing to, you know, like our videos here at EUC in Austin. All right, we're making a right-hand turn here, and I believe this road is South Burnett Street. We're almost there to downtown Round Rock, and you'll kind of get to see, you know, this route, some of the, you know, streets that we're going on, some of the crossings. We're going to make a major cross here. This is a major cross coming up on McNeil Road. There is a railroad as well too here, and this is a group crossing. I mean, it's not as high traffic as a Highway 79 and Harrell Parkway, definitely not, but in Round Rock, near Old Settlers Park. But this is also, you know, you got to be aware when you cross, because this is a busy road, this McNeil. We're making a left turn here. Okay, so now we're actually on McNeil, East McNeil Road to be exact. There's a lot of cars going up and down East McNeil Road, so you just got to be aware. And then we are very close. Downtown Round Rock is right here. Believe it or not, it's right here. We're going to make a right-hand turn here. And once we make this right-hand turn, we will be entering downtown Round Rock, which is super cool. And at this point of the video, Round Rock Donuts is actually closed. I actually feel like a donut right now. South Lampasas Street. Okay, we're passing that. And, oh, I love Round Rock Donuts. I really love it. It's here. And I was thinking about, oh, the donut place, but it's closed in the evenings. Obviously, it's a donut shop. All right, we are going to make a left turn, and we are almost to the candy shop to get our ice cream here, and it's called the 3-Star Candy Shop in downtown Round Rock. This is where we break for ice cream, and we eat our ice cream. We take our time here at this point, and we usually sit here on the porch. Here they know we're coming, and there's a ramp. So there's my daughter. She's going, oh, there she goes, all the way up the ramp. I am getting off my vehicle. It's tight here. There's a porch light here. There should be a light. And we are going to break here for ice cream. So it is ice cream time at the 3-Star Candy Shop in downtown Round Rock. Okay, so we had our ice cream. It is time to go. So at this point of the video, you can see it is completely dark. There are no more clouds that you can see in the sky. I mean, they can be there. We just can't see them. And we are leaving downtown Round Rock. We had our ice cream at the 3-Star Candy Shop in downtown Round Rock, and we are going back to Rabb House. So like I said, we're getting towards the end of the video. We're at North Lampasas here in East Main Street, I believe, in downtown Round Rock, which is really cool. You could see this. We're getting towards the end of the video, so it's going to get a little bit fast towards the end. We are going through downtown Round Rock here, as you can see. It's kind of cool to ride this at night. I really like it. And, you know, it was really cool to do that group ride with the Austin One-Wheel Club as well, too, to ride downtown at nighttime. It's really cool. It's a different vibe than during the day, you know. And here's the Round Rock Public Library here, I believe, here on the right-hand side. It's kind of cool to see some of these places, you know, at night. For the most part, we ride during the day, me, my husband, my daughter. But in the group rides, you know, we're in a group setting, we tend to ride at night. So sometimes we do ride with our friends in South Austin, Zilker Park at night during the summers. I think I had mentioned that before. And I had some old footage, but it was not in 4K. It was actually in I believe it was 1080p. So I was gonna edit that footage, and I had mentioned this in another video, but I think it's just I do prefer the 4K. So I'm gonna work on some other videos that we have in 4K for y'all. It's just more enjoyable to watch things in 4K. So anyways, we are actually going down this really dark street here, going back to Rabb House. And like I said, it is not that far to get back to Rabb House from downtown Round Rock. So we are taking a different route, I believe, here. And it is super dark. Yeah, we're kind of just like backtracking things, but we're taking a different route because we're going to Rabb House here to leaving downtown Round Rock. And it is going to get shaky. It is going to get jittery. So please bear with me. And I'll kind of talk you through this part of the ride as we go back to Rabb House. This is basically the end of the group ride. We've got to get back. My daughter has school the next day because this is a Wednesday evening, but it's really enjoyable. For the most part, it is very enjoyable. We're making a left turn here back to the parking lot at Rabb House. Oop, there was a bump. We are on North Lewis Street here at this point of the ride. Now, if you want to do this yourself or you're with a family, I don't recommend you ride this portion by yourself because, as you can see, it is super dark. It is really hard to tell exactly where you're going. We're okay doing this in a group ride setting, but I don't think, for the most part, I don't think we'd be doing this as a family had it not we're not in a group ride setting. So that's just kind of my opinion. Again, better safe than sorry. Just want to be careful, especially at night. And if you have children, you're in a family. For the most part, we do ride during the day unless we're in a group ride situation, whether it would be with the, Central Texas Electric Unicycle Group or the Austin One-Wheel Club, or even with our friends, who have kids and they do bike riding. But we're always in a group situation. We're making a left turn here when we do our riding at night for the most part. Okay, so now we are North Georgetown Street here in Round Rock. You can barely see anything. It's a different route to get back to Rabb House than when we had gotten there. I believe this is probably a quicker route, but we're going to go on the street. I believe we're going to be crossing the street. We're going to, there's an EUC rider there. We're going to go to the right because it's going to bring us to the path. And once we cross the street, we get back on the path. Then we're home free, and it takes us straight to Rabb House, and we don't have to worry about cars for the most part. And that's one of the things I do enjoy about the East Brushy Creek Trail, that for the most part, we're not on the street. We are on the trail, if you just stay on the trail. And I'm not a street rider myself. I'm a casual rider. I enjoy being on the trail. Yes, there are pedestrians. Yes, there are dogs. Yes, there are people on these trails that you have to navigate around, but it's just part of being on the trail. But for the most part, I do like going on the trail. Here we are crossing the street. I'm always waving at these cars just so that they know that we're, crossing the street, get eye contact. For the most part, I do enjoy these trails for the part because we don't have to deal with the cars. I'm not a street rider. There's people who do like to ride the streets, and I'm not one of those people. We're making a left-hand turn here. As you can tell, I'm a very conservative rider, so I'm more of a casual rider. I'm not a speed demon. I don't like to speed ride. And we are back here on the East Brushy Creek Trail. This is super dark. I don't recommend you riding this at night by yourself, or even if you're with, your family. We're only doing this late at night because we're in a group ride situation. We are with other riders, so for the most part it's okay as long as we are familiar with our surroundings, and we've done this ride like a million times, so we are already familiar with the East Brushy Creek Trail. So as you can tell, you can barely see my daughter there with her lights here. It is super dark. There are no lights here. I believe the lights are more towards Rabb House. You see, it's super dark. Once you get closer to the parking lot, I think there are lights over there closer to the parking lot. There's some lights coming up. I think that's where we're going to. But for the most part, as you can tell, it is super dark. We're getting towards the end of the video here. You can barely see my daughter, my husband. We are headed to Rabb House. There in front of me, but I'm going at a casual speed. I'm going slower actually because I'm just a conservative rider. That's just the kind of rider that I am. I'm very conservative. So, and I don't want to go at fast speeds here, especially being in the dark here. Okay, so this is the last portion of the video. Thank you so much for watching this. Please like this video. Thank you for subscribing. And I've got some more footage, some more videos to edit of our trip to California. I'll talk more about our trip to California and what happened with my husband with his injury on the mountain bike trails in those videos as well too. He's doing great. He's recovering. And I've got another video, I think, tunnel time. Here you go, tunnel time, of another local ride. This one is with me, my husband, my daughter. I think you will enjoy. It's in Pflugerville. I believe it is at Lake Pflugerville that I've got to edit as well too. So I've got some more videos, a lot of videos to edit. I'm gonna keep them in 4K, the ones that I have in 1080. I think I might have to just reshoot them when we go to those locations. So just watch out for that. And just a lot planned. We're going to continue, now it's going into fall. The weather finally is not in triple digits anymore. Hopefully it doesn't go back to that anytime soon. But with the fall, which is my favorite time of the year, I think we're going to go on more group rides once my husband recovers, do some more riding, but he just needs to recover. For the most part now, we're just kind of taking it easy. He is riding his e-bike at slower speeds in the neighborhood with me and my daughter. For the most part, riding our electric unicycles. Once we're ready to go back and go to the group rides and he can ride the electric unicycles, then you'll see some more video footage of that. But in the meantime, I've got plenty of video footage to go over of California. I've got some of the rides with me and my husband and my daughter to share with you. So just stay tuned for that. All right, we're getting super close to the Rabb House now. We're saying goodbye to some of these riders there. There they go. Not everyone parked at the same place. Not everyone parked at the parking lot. Some people, actually, it's funny. Some people live so close, they actually rode their electric unicycles to the group ride. So, you can do that with an electric unicycle, which is super cool. So we're going to this tunnel here. You've probably seen this in our videos. You can see, oh, there's Rachel. There's her shadow here. And here's a sign, Rabb Park here in Round Rock. And we are pretty much here at the Rabb Park here in Round Rock at Rabb House in Round Rock, where we started for our group ride with the Central Texas Electric Unicycle group here in May 2023. So we are getting towards the end of the group ride here. We are almost at the parking lot here. Oop. There is someone riding seated. Some of the riders, they like to ride seated. They'd rather just sit down versus standing up. I prefer standing up for the most part, but I have done seated riding on my V11. My husband installed a seat on my InMotion V11, which is kind of cool that you could actually sit and kind of, stretch your legs, relax, ride one-footed. I can do that as well too, but that's with practice. And here we are at the Rabb House here in Round Rock. So thank you so much for watching our channel, EUC in Austin. And I just really appreciate you and taking the time to watch these videos. So stay tuned for the next videos, and I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.